Why do so many people gradually stop visiting friends after the age of 70? It's a question that often goes unspoken, yet for millions of older adults, it's a lived reality. This change can be misunderstood or even judged from the outside. But the reasons behind it are deeply human, and often painful, complex, and surprisingly common. Today, we're exploring 6 honest truths that explain why this shift happens. Truths that few people openly talk about, but that deserve to be heard. Energy isn't what it used to be. The first and perhaps most obvious truth is the change in energy levels. As we age, even simple activities that were once second nature, like getting dressed, driving, or making small talk, can feel exhausting. For some people, a short visit that used to be invigorating now leaves them needing a nap. Fatigue isn't just physical either. Mental and emotional energy can also wane. The effort of staying socially engaged, remembering details, and maintaining conversation can become overwhelming. It's not about not wanting to see people, it's about the body and mind quietly saying, "I need to rest." 2. Health issues. Get in the way. Health challenges become more frequent and unpredictable with age. Arthritis, mobility issues, vision loss, hearing impairment, and chronic illnesses all play a part. For some, walking to the door is painful. For others, driving becomes unsafe. Even public transportation can become inaccessible. On top of that, there's the emotional toll of illness. When you're dealing with pain or medical treatments, socializing can feel like a luxury you just can't afford. It's not that you don't care, it's that your health takes priority whether you like it or not. The circle gets smaller. One of the most painful aspects of aging is loss. Friends move away. Some become ill. Others pass away. The social circle that once felt wide and active slowly begins to shrink. For many over 70, the harsh reality is that the people they used to visit are no longer there, and forming new friendships in later life can be incredibly hard. Unlike younger years, where school, work, and parenting provide natural opportunities for connection, older adults often find fewer chances to meet new people. Over time, loneliness can start to replace connection. Fear of being a burden. Many older adults stop visiting others because they don't want to be a burden. Maybe they walk more slowly, need help getting upstairs, or have trouble hearing. They might worry that others are just being polite by spending time with them. That feeling of being an inconvenience or of slowing others down can be deeply discouraging. So instead of risking awkwardness or rejection, they quietly choose to stay home. It's not about not wanting to be part of life. It's about fearing they no longer fit into it. Changing priorities and inner reflection after 70, many people begin to reflect more inwardly. Social obligations that once felt important might no longer hold the same weight. Instead, solitude, quiet, or spiritual practice can become more appealing. This isn't necessarily loneliness. For some, it's peace. Years of noise, stress, and people-pleasing lead to a longing for stillness. The need to prove oneself or to maintain appearances fades. Instead, the focus shifts to meaning, memories, and personal peace. And that naturally changes how often they feel like reaching out. Technology has replaced some human connection. In the past, visits were the main way to stay connected. But now, calls, texts, and video chats offer a substitute. For some seniors, this is a lifeline. For others, it's a confusing replacement for real interaction. Unfortunately, not all older adults are comfortable with technology. So while the world becomes more digital, they may feel increasingly isolated. Even if they want to connect, they might not know how. And with fewer in-person visits happening, they quietly fade into the background. So what can we take from these 6 truths? That aging brings real profound changes to how people relate to others. It's not about losing interest in life or in people. It's about navigating the physical, emotional, and social challenges that come with time. If you know someone over 70, a parent, a grandparent, a neighbor, reach out, not with pity, but with understanding. Don't wait for them to make the first move. And when they do visit, cherish it. Because behind every quiet house and unanswered invitation, there's usually a story you haven't heard yet. And if you are someone in your 70s or beyond, know this: your experience matters. Your presence matters. Whether you visit or not, your worth doesn't change. But when you can connect, and when it feels right, don't be afraid to let someone in. Sometimes, the most meaningful visits are the ones that come after the silence. Connection doesn't have to look the way it once did. It doesn't need to involve long drives, crowded rooms, or busy schedules. It can be as simple as a phone call, a handwritten note, a quiet conversation on the porch, or even sitting together in silence. What matters is the presence, not the performance. Many people over 70 have spent their lives giving to family, to work, to friends. They've hosted the holidays, remembered every birthday, shown up when others needed them. But now, the roles may shift. Instead of reaching out, they may be the ones who need to be reached. Instead of planning, they may be waiting. And it takes humility to accept that shift. It also takes awareness from others, because while someone might say, "I'm fine," or "don't worry about me," they may still long for connection. But pride, generational values, or past disappointments can make it hard to ask. That's why it's important to listen not just to the words, but to the silences. Pay attention to changes in routine, canceled plans, or subtle signs of withdrawal. Those may be quiet invitations to check in a little deeper. It's equally important not to assume that every older adult feels lonely or isolated. Some find deep fulfillment in their routines, hobbies, or solitude. Others stay socially active and connected well into their 80s and beyond. There's no one-size-fits-all experience of aging, but what's universal is the need for dignity, understanding, and choice. The truth is, we all slow down in different ways, and if we're lucky, we'll each reach a stage of life where visits are less about rushing around and more about presence, about just being together. So whether you're over 70 or you have someone in your life who is, remember that changes. In social habits don't mean someone doesn't care. Often they care deeply. They just need connection to meet them where they are, not where they used to be. Reaching out doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be simple. A thinking of you message. dropping off a favorite snack, offering a ride without making it a big deal, or just showing up with no expectations. Because at any age, feeling seen and valued is one of the greatest gifts we can give. And sometimes, the most meaningful friendships in our later years are the ones that accept the silence, adapt to the changes, and keep showing up anyway. These aren't just honest truths. They're reminders of what it means to be human. And they matter now more than ever.